Okay. Today concept name is dynamic handling file system concept. Dynamic handling file system concept. So before going to dynamic handling file system concept, first of all we should know flat file. What is flat file? Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format. It doesn't have any predefined format. So that is called flat file. Example, notepad, comma, text document. So whatever you want, you can write it. Whatever you want, you can write it. There is no restrictions. So that's the reason we are calling it is a flat file. Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format. So there is no format. Whatever you want, you can write it. So what is the dynamic handling file system concept? If you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to create a new file in file system, comma, if you want to write the data into the file system, if you want to write the data into the file, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, comma, if you want to get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. File system concept. If you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. So without going to D drive or E drive or F drive, through code we can create a new file in file system. We can write the data into the file in file system. If you want to get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. So through code we can do everything. For that we are using 5 free defined classes. For that we will use 5 free defined classes. One is file writer, file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. So if you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. For that we are using 5 free defined classes. One is file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. So what is the use of these free defined classes? We will discuss. If you want to create a new file, we will use file. If you want to create a new file in file system, we will use file. If you want to write the data into the file, we will use file writer. So if you write only file writer, so we can't write the data into the file system. So if you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Then only we can able to write the data into the file system. Only for this logic purpose we are learning. If I use file writer, I can't write the data into the file system. If you want to write the data into the file system, compulsory we need to take the reference of buffer writer. Then only we can able to write the data into the file system. Next, file reader. File reader is used for we can read the data from file system. If we write only file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory we should take the reference of buffer reader. Then only we can able to read the data from file system. Then only we can able to read the data from file system. So these are the free defined classes, 5 free defined classes. Whenever you want to work with the dynamic handling file system, like if you want create a new file, if you want write the data into the file, if you want get the data from file, we will use this file system concept. For that we are using 5 free defined classes: file, file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. File is used for we can create a new file in file system. File writer we can use for write the data into the file system. If we write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we should take the reference of buffer writer. Then only we can write the data into the file system. File reader used for we can read the data from file system. If you write only file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory, we should take the reference of buffer reader. Then only we can get the or read the data from file system. So what is that concept we will discuss today? Go to Eclipse. Same concept to early morning 9 o'clock. Same concept I'm teaching early morning 9 o'clock. Go to Hyderabad, go to SRC, take the new class. Class name is file. So already file is a free defined class. So that's the reason I'm taking file spell mistake. Click on keep the public static void menu. Click on finish. Now I want to create a new file in file system. How to create a new file in file system? We will discuss how to write the data into the file, how to get the data from file. We will discuss today. File f equal to new file. File f equal to new file. Just give the path in the D colon India. India dot text txt. I want create a one file India dot txt. F dot create new file. Next I want to write the data into the file. File writer fw equal to new file writer. I want to write the data into the file. Okay. If you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we should take the reference of buffer writer. Buffered buffer writer bw equal to new buffer writer fw. So if you want to write the data into the file, compulsory we should take the reference of buffer writer. So that's the reason. So buffer writer reference buffer writer dot write. Good evening. bw dot new line, bw dot write happy new year advance. So bw dot write bw dot new line, bw dot write by 2016, bw dot new line, bw dot write 2017 will bring you good job. Compulsory. After writing the code, compulsory we should write flush bw dot flush. Flush is used for it can hold the data. It can hold the data. Flush is used for it can hold the data. File java.io, file writer, buffer writer. So after writing the code, it will be showing throws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 exceptions. So it is showing 10 exceptions. Just keep the cursor on any underline. Add throws declaration. Yesterday we discussed throws. Throws is a predefined class in Java. It can handle all the exceptions at a time. At a time, it can handle all the exceptions. So we have 10 exceptions at a time. It can handle the 10 exceptions at a time. So once again, so after writing the code, it will show you underlines. Just keep the cursor. Add throws declaration. IO exception. Next, file reader. Save, click and run. It will create in D colon one file that name is India. Go and check it is it created or not. D colon India. Yes. Good evening. Happy New Year advance. By 2006. 2007 will bring you good job. Right. Like we can create a new file and we can write the data into the file. So this is the concept. So how to create file and how to write the data into the file. Now I want to get the data from file. Now I want to get the data from file. File reader fr equal to new file reader If you write file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory, we should take reference of buffer reader. Buffer reader BR equal to new buffer reader FR. Same logic. So here data is available or not. I want to check. Here we will use boolean. Boolean is here is not very important. In this two lines is not very important. Whatever I am writing, these two lines is very not very important. Just for general knowledge purpose, I am writing boolean b equal to br dot ready. So so control space b. I'm printing here. So these two lines not very important. Just if it is data available, it will give true. It is giving true or not, we will check. Wait. File reader buffer reader. Okay. Now I want to get the data. So here I am writing while loop. How many lines of data is available? I don't know. So that's the reason I am writing while loop. While br dot ready store in string s equal to br dot read line so control space yes. Save, click on run. We can get the data from file. Yes, true. Data is there. True, it is giving. Good evening. Happy New Year. Advance by 2006 and 2017 will bring you good job. So we can create a new file in file system through code. We can write the data into the file system through code. We can get the data from file system using this code. So this is the concept to dynamic handling file system concept. You should remember only one line. File writer fw equal new file writer buffer writer bw equal new buffer writer fw. So if you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. That's the reason we are taking buffer writer reference and we are writing the data. And if you write file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory we should take the reference of buffer reader, then only we can able to read the data from file system. This is the concept to dynamic handling file system concept. This is the concept to dynamic handling file system concept, right? So this is the concept to dynamic handling file system concept, right? Next concept to small concept only. I will teach you two concepts. So this is the one concept is over. Next concept to simple concept to reflection API. What is API? API means application programming interface. API contains some set of predefined classes. Among them, one of the class method class. API contains some set of predefined classes. Among them, one of the class that is method class. What is the use of method class? Method class reference can hold any other method in the specified class. Method class reference can hold any other method in the specified class. Using same reference, we can invoke that method. Method class reference can hold any other method in the specified class. Using same reference, we can invoke that method. Or we can say simply, so if you confusing with definition, just using method class reference, using method class reference, we can call the starting function from another new class. What is the use of method class reference? Using method class reference, we can call the static function from another new class. We can call the static function from another new class. That is method class. What is the method class? Method class, this is the concept name is reflection API. API means application programming interface. API contains some set of predefined classes. Among them, one of the class that is the method class. What is the use of method class? Method class reference can hold any other method in the specified class. Using same reference, we can invoke that method. Using same reference, we can invoke that method. Or simply we can say own just normal definition. Or simply we can say using method class reference, we can call the static function from another class. Up to today, we discussed most of the concept to non-static only, but today concept is static function. Static, we can call the static function from another class. Okay, how we can implement, we will discuss. Go to src, take the new class API. I'm taking class name is API. Only I'm taking class, I'm writing one function, public static void add login here. I'm writing one function, login function. I'm writing function name is login, for example. Login here. Public static void login. I'm writing one function, system.out.println login here. Okay, save. So I want to call this static function from another class. Go to src, take the new class, ref, keep the mark public static void menu, click on finish. I want to call the static function. So previous class name is API dot login. Directly we can write. This is the concept reflection API. But this is not method class. So if you want to implement method class, just comment it. So if you run, it will give whatever your logic you mentioned. The logic will you can get. login here. Whatever you are writing that function body, so login here it is coming. So I want to apply method class now. This is the shortcut to whatever we taught, that is shortcut to login class name dot function name. Directly we can call the starting function from another class, or we can say today concept reflection API. Store in one string a equal to or s equal to, I want to call the function login. String a equal to login. Previous class name API. Previous class name is API. Dot class dot get method. A. Take the method class reference. Method reference M equal to. Method is a predefined class. M dot. Sorry. M dot invoke M. Like we can write the code. Now here we can get 5 exceptions. Now we can get here 5 exceptions. Keep the cursor on underline. Add throws declaration. No such method exception. Security exception. Still it is showing underline. Illegal access exception. Illegal argument exception. Invocation target exception. These are the 5 exceptions we can get here. Save, click on run. So what is the answer? Login here. That is the concept reflection API. That is the concept of reflection API. So these are the two concepts. These are the two concepts. While working with Java, these two concepts also very